mysteries, sharing, exchanging our POVs, coming together and having conversations, honoring heritage, it's all inspiration. We're no longer hiding or feeling inferior. Proud of our blood, that's what we're here for. We're all different, it adds more flavor. Take it to the stage and hear the crowds roar. Our history, we'll always remember. The good, the bad, we'll never surrender. Making our mother and motherland proud. Using our voices and saying it loud. Celebrate who you are. Your stories will take you far. Celebrate what you do. 'Cause here it's all about empowering you. Come join the celebration. This is Improvisation. Let's make more connections. This is Improvisation. Come join the celebration. This is Improvisation. Let's make more connections. This is Improvisation. This is Improvisation.
Hello, Mabuhay world. Hello, welcome to the Improvisation Festival 2021. I can't believe we're finally here and opening
Yes.
it. So we're Carl and I.
We are the festival directors, and we are so excited to have everyone here with us.
So after what felt like 6 months of hard work crammed into 2 months, in actuality, we're finally here. And the first minute of this opening would be remiss if we didn't thank the hardworking volunteer production team of Third World Improv. Not only did they work tirelessly, but they also did everything with love, with joy, and pride in their work. So if you ever run into them virtually, if you see them in your green rooms, please give them a pat on the back, a salute, because they have been the backbone of this entire festival. So you know who you are. Everybody behind the screens right now, thank you for making this happen.
Yeah.
So we've been asked several times actually why put up this festival, and honestly we continue asking ourselves that too. Not because we're questioning it, or not because we're like, what are we doing, what are we thinking of, but to remind ourselves what this was really all about and what this was for. After all, having an online festival was a frightening prospect, especially for a team of fairly new festival leaders. This is the first time Carl and I have produced a festival as directors, and everybody on the team are either improv students or new alumni from Third World Improv. So not only we're a new team, and putting up a festival was a frightening prospect, but we did it because as the world expanded this past year, we felt we no longer played with people that looked like us or that thought like us. And as people of color, that can be a very vulnerable and frightening thing. Being one of the few Asians in the room, sometimes being the only Asians that are based in Asia, we were faced with a very real feeling of I get emotional, struggling with colonial mentality, with feeling inferior, with having to hide who we were. It's something that's very common, I think, for many Asians, especially those who were in countries that used to be colonized, of feeling inferior maybe to our white and Western counterparts. And it's in the way that we are raised. Both Carl and I, we were both raised in households where speaking English was a priority. I wasn't allowed to speak Bisaya.
I wasn't allowed to speak Tagalog. The only time I spoke Tagalog was in school with my friends. Yeah, at home it's always all English.
Yes, and it was Western was better, white was better, because that was what they expected for you to be respected, and that was what it took to be a citizen of the world. My mom would ask me to go and migrate and marry a white person because that was what success looked like, and that was all stemmed from the wounds of colonization. But what we really wanted to ask now was, why not both? Why can't we be both? Why can't we be both Filipino? Why can't we be both Bisaya, eating with our hands, eating balut, and still be excellent citizens of the world? Why must they be different? And we stopped believing it. We stopped believing that they had to be different. And this is learning this and unlearning all of that is a lifelong process, and that's what we're discovering. But this festival is such a celebration of taking the first step into claiming our heritage. But more than a celebration, this festival is also about conversations, sometimes difficult ones that tackle the good and the bad, the good and the bad things about Asian identity, colonial mentality, Asian and Asian hate, accepting parts of our history that we may not always be proud of. But we really believe that having these conversations is important in being the first step into building connections as a community. Our dream for the Asian improv scene to be just as on the map as all of our Western counterparts. That when people think of improv excellence, when people think of improv excellence, they'll think of Chicago, and they'll think of Sydney, and they'll think of London and Canada, but they'll also think of Singapore and Israel and Japan and the Philippines. That's the dream, and that will also flock together and be able to raise each other up as fellow Asian improvisers. And also Asians from all over the world, because we're not just in this region, but for everybody out there who by blood, by heritage are Asian and you are elsewhere. It's about embracing your roots and coming back home and discovering all the parts that make you who you are. It was a really emotional experience seeing the lineup of instructors and performers, all of them Asian, from Mumbai to Bangalore, to Israel, to Turkey, to Japan,
or Canada.
To Canada, Asians from Canada, to the UK, to China. It was really emotional because we're not a minority here, and we're not a minority in the world. We're a majority, not tokens.
The global majority.
Yeah, we're not token Asians. We're the whole damn bank. So, with that, we're very excited and proud and full of hope for this festival. It's just day one. We have so much more in store. So please do stick around and join us. We have shows, 4 days worth of shows. We have panels from all over the world. Again, we have instructors teaching things like fairy tales from the East, Kurosawa, teaching things like the Aman movie. It's incredible. So please do take your time to check that out. We also have merchandise.
We got swag. Yeah.
We got swag, and also a tip jar. Buy your production team a coffee. And we are also very excited to be doing all of this for everybody. So we're not going to take up too much of your time. Before I get overwhelmed with emotion, enjoy the festival, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everybody who's been working so hard behind the scenes. And we are now very, very excited to bring forth the team that started this all. For 20 years, this group has
pioneered
improv
improv here in the Philippines.
And actually, probably talk about them.
Yeah, they've been doing improv for almost 20 years, and they're the founders of Third World Improv, and they've nourished and nurtured almost over 400 Filipino students here in the Philippines, or sometimes even people from abroad ever since we expanded. And they are continuing to put Philippine improv in the map through Third World Improv.
Yes. And we wouldn't be here if they didn't start at all with the Manila Improv Fest. They taught us everything we know, and everybody around the world, I'm gonna cry. It is with great pride for us to introduce none other than
Spit Manila.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. You made us feel so important. Thank you, everybody. Yes, we are Spit Manila. That OBB was so beautiful. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be performing some long form for you this evening, and we asked you to vote on the Mentimeter, and none of us except Bibay have seen the results, so we don't know. We don't know who you voted for, and
And Ding Dong.
ding dong.
Ding Dong also knows now the results.
Can they vote still?
Yes, they can just click on the link that the community manager sent in the chat box on Facebook.
Right. So we are going to be doing our long form format. And that's it. We don't have any suggestions. We're going to start.
So maybe
We're
we
gonna
can
start.
just give them a little bit of background
A
as
little
to
bit of
what we're
background of
doing.
why we're doing this.
Yes, go ahead.
This format is based on the festivity called Santa Cruzan, which is done every when, ding dong, every when.
Every summer. Hindi pala. Kailan ba?
Summer happens in the
And they're
Philippines
comprised
in May.
of
Sometimes, May. Summer.
May.
Tama naman. April,
Summer
May.
naman yung May.
But in other countries, it's July, June.
August, yes. Tama.
Philippine summer.
Philippine summer is April, May. This happens in May. And it's based on the Santa Cruzan. And there's a lot of pageantry. There's a procession and all of that. And there are queens, or more like religious figures / beauty queens, right, Ariel?
Yes, and it's good to mention, of course, that it is very syncretic. It is a mix because it celebrates both. The influence, the Christian influence brought, of course, by our colonial past, but of course, owning it now and making it our own. So it's colonial, but also very ours and very Filipino. We've owned it, parang ganun.
I think I'd like to think of it as a mixture between the Spanish colonization and American Hollywood, with all the pageantry and the showmanship involved, and that makes it somehow uniquely Filipino.
Also, Filipinos are very fond of beauty pageants. It's huge here in the Philippines. It's a big deal when you win, especially internationally. So this is like a combination of all those. Yeah.
Also, we ask people to vote for us. Actually, in some Catholic parishes, also this happens actually through fundraising, where the most beautiful young women of the season, just like in Bridgerton, the most beautiful women of the season are sell tickets. No, they sell tickets to raise funds for the church's renovation and improvement, which of course, just in time before the rainy season comes around June, July, August.
And then it becomes a barangay event. So barangay is a unit of community, because not only are the participants, the queens are members of the barangay, but also their escorts, and everybody gets in on the decorating the arcs that they parade with, and also the costumes, the gowns, and all the gaudiness.
Anyway, our time is limited, so we shall begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reina de las Flores. kayo? Kokoronahan na natin ngayon ang ating bagong Reyna de las Flores para sa ating bayan. Handa na ba kayo sa bagong Reyna? Handa na ako, handa na ba kayo? Tara na mga kababayan.
Handa na ba kayo? Handa na ba kayo? Handa na
Handa na
ba
ba ako para sa taong ito? Parati na lang ako sumasali, pero ni minsan hindi nagwawagi. Baka ito na ang aking panahon, baka ito na ang aking panahon.
Are we now ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? This is the first time I'm joining this contest. Will I be the one who can? No, no, no. They cannot feel any test for me. Oh no, I'm not ready.
Handa na ba sila? Handa na ba sila? Panahon ko na ba para makilala? Ang ganda ko ba ay mangingibabaw? O talagang ako ay mapapasa ilalim?
Am I ready? This always has been a dream for me, but not my own. It is my mom's. Handa na ba ako?
Handa na ba kayo?
Handa na ba ako?
Handa na ba?
Handa na ba kayo?
Handa na ba ako?
Handa na ang resulta.
Stop, ready?
Stop, ito na.
Thank you very much! Welcome mga kabarangay! Eto na tayo, no? Thank you so much. As you all know, katatapos lang ang ating collection of the tickets. One ticket is 1 peso. Therefore, the winner tonight will have garnered most money for the barangay. Okay? Kaya wala tayong question and answer portion, wala tayong rampa-rampa kasi pera-pera naman itong beauty contest na ito. So, umpisahan na natin agad-agad ang ating kokoronahan ngayon. Ang una, syempre, Reyna de las Flores, primera, segunda, tercera. So, pabaliktad tayo si tercera muna ang ating awardan, no? At ang ating pananalo ay si Binibining Arin.
So third place?
Oo.
Congratulations!
Congrats!
Congrats, Arin, ha? So, maganda ka, ha?
Congratulations!
Okay. Mom, 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 I don't wanna join anymore this year. Okay, I'm busy with school. I need to study. I cannot join this year. I have to study.
Iha, kailangan mag-prepare, sumali ka. Alam mo naman, ambisyon namin ng tita mo yan. Forever, nung bata pa kami. Pero hindi kami binigyan ng height. Hindi kami binigyan ng ganyang katawan. Sayang naman ang ganda binigay sa'yo ni Lord kung hindi ka sasali.
Oo nga po, di ba? Ang laki-laki na ng ginastos namin for your gown.
But okay, I really just want to pursue something Have you not heard my poetry?
Poetry. Poetry does not garner a lot of points in the talent portion.
Oo, kailangan mag-declamation, kailangan sumayaw, ganun. Poetry, ano yun?
Naman, I've been doing everything for you since I was young. Di ba gusto mo mag-piano lessons ako? Di ba gusto mo mag-opera singing ako?
Arin, di ba gusto mo yon mag-drawing parate?
Favorite ko talaga yung drawing kasi parang feeling ko mas talagang lumalabas yung mga emotions ko, tapos yung expressions ko laging lumalabas pag nagdo-drawing ako.
Kaya mo ba yan mag-drawing ng donut? Kaya mo yan mag-drawing ng donut?
Kaya ko yung klaro, hindi yung blurry.
Wow! Ang galing! Ang dami mong alam!
Tingnan mo, marunong ako mag-drawing ng donut.
Wow! Ang galing! Siguro, paglaki natin, magiging kang artist. Alam mo yung artist?
Oo, kasi alam ko yung mga artist talagang gusto ko yung mga drawing ko at yung mga paintings ko, bebenta ko for mga 3 million pesos pagpatay na ako.
Wow! Hindi mag-drawing ka na. Dapat marami ka nang i-drawing. Kasi
Oo nga
magbenta ng 3 million. Ang daming zero nun, Arin.
Dami talaga.
Zero yun.
Marami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ang dami.
Dick,
Ang
6.
dami. Ang daming gustong bumili nitong painting mo. So, I
And I'm not even dead yet.
And I was wondering, bakit I'm very pleased sa akin. You want me to safekeep it?
Absolutely. I really think that you are the person I can trust with my most expensive painting at the moment. Hindi ko mabibigayan kay mommy. She will sell it right away. I want you to keep it hanggang mamatay ako. Hanggang mamatay ako.
Aren, maybe kung nakita ba niya to, maybe if she gets to see what you can do as an artist, parang...
She will never understand me. It's always about her dreams, not my dreams. She doesn't deserve the money from that painting.
Well, I promise I'll take care of it, Aren. But I really hope makita to ng nanay mo someday.
All she wants is for me to be a beauty queen. That's all. That's all.
Wala namang masama sa beauty queen. I mean, well, it's in these days naman, we shouldn't be judging dreams of people.
Is this something that you were thinking of? I've trained so much in pageantry from all my years. My parents have been making me do it. And if I don't like it, maybe I can pass my knowledge to you.
You will do that?
I don't want to do it. I better give this knowledge to someone who really wants it.
Sobra na binibigay mo sa akin ngayon, and you gave me this as someone who just, bagong salta dito. And now you're making me, you're willing to teach me what you know about pageants?
You're my only friend. I have to give you everything.
Okay, mga kabarangay! Congratulations, Rin, our Prinsesa Tercera. Okay, our second Prinsesa Segunda, ang ating bagong salta sa barangay. Oh my God, si RR! Congratulations, RR! You garnered 250,000 pesos. Wow! 1 peso higher lang kay Rin.
I guess second is still the best. Second is best. Thank you, Barangay Captain Ding Dong.
And I love the way you're standing. That's perfect. That's exactly what they're looking for. It needs, although the walk needs to be original. Alam mo naman, di ba, they're looking for that original walk. Catriona had her slow motion walk. So, in this case, I think you should do whatever speed you feel empowers you.
I feel what empowers me. What empowers me is the story of Gabriela Sila.
Think of her. You think of Gabby. Think of Gabby. That you channel the energy of Gabby S.
I'm channeling Gabriela Sila riding that horse.
Ride it. Ride the horse. Oh my
And I
God.
can walk like that.
This is all original? You just came up with this now?
Yes. I call it the Gabriela walk.
Gabriela walk. Ano tong naririnig kong may pageant? Pambihira.
Ay, wala namang masama. Sinunod ko naman ang gusto niyo. Pumasok naman ako sa PMA.
Oh,
Pero ito, private pa lang ako. I'm just, suot-suot ko pa nga ito.
was that Gabriela walk? Is supposed to be Aguinaldo walk. Look, I'm reading Thanks. Look how macho.
Pare, narinig ko yung anak mo daw medyo nahihilig sa mga kabayo
Hindi ko alam gagawin ko, pare.
Paano ba yan Kala ko ba lahing sundalo kayo? Bakit may ganyan?
So, Uncle, ibig mong sabihin, mas nakakatawa yung lalaking kumekembot-kembot parang kabayo kaysa sa lalaking nambababae gaya mo.
Ang pangbababae, pruweba yan ng virility. Lalaking lalaki. Oh.
Tingnan mo, di ba?
Hindi naman nakakahiya yun
Nung bata ka pa, tinatanong sa'yo ng mga tita mo, pag ano pa lang, how many girlfriends do you have? It's the sign.
Alam mo, ako kung ilan? 3. Bukod pa yan sa asawa ko.
Sorry naman, Tito. Ako kasi stick to one ako Yung roommate ko sa barracks. Yung kasabay kong pumasok sa PMA, Dad. Naalala mo?
Eto na nga ba yung sinasabi ko
Alam mo naman yung mga past valedictorian, mga babae na rin. Mukha nga lang lalaki, pero mga babae pa rin.
Sabagay.
Alam nyo, Uncle, alam nyo, Dad, year 2000...
RR! Ito yung favorite ko, RR, yung cat.
Monica,
Yan ang favorite ko, yung cat. Ano yung favorite mo, yung horse?
yung favorite ko to.
Cute! Pwede ito magsakay dyan. Masakay din.
Pwede tayong sumakay. Dalawa to.
RR! Mista! Balita ko, sasali ka ng pageant.
Ito nga yung kaunang pagkakataon na pinuksan nila yung pageant ng barangay for any gender Kaya ito ay had the courage to pass my name.
Buti ka pa, may lakas ng loob. I believe in you, pare. Nandun lang ako sa baba, mag-cheer para sa'yo, pare.
Pare. Kasi yung mananalo doon, sasama sa Santa Cruzan. Ano naman sa Santa Cruzan, kailangan ng escort. Tatanungin ko sana kung pwede kang maging escort ko.
Ha? Wow! Ang laking karangalan yun, pare. Na maging escort mo. Tapos, ano susutin natin? Pareho ba tayo nakabarong or nakagown ka?
Parehong barong, parehong gown, kahit ano. We can do what we want. We can be who we are.
Sige, sana manalo ka. Kahit runner-up lang. Para makasama ka sa parada.
Salamat pare, pinasaya mo ako.
Sige pare, good luck.
Grabe! Hindi ko na kaya yung suspense nito! Oh my God! I cannot anymore!
Ang tagal naman ni Cap.
Grabe si Cap! Ang tagal magbanyo!
Oo nga.
Eto na! Eto na!
Ay, yan na.
Kapitana, ready na po sila. Kapitana.
Kasi nagtali ulit tayo kasi may pahabol si Mayor. Nagpadala ng isang attaché case ng
Oh my
pera.
God! Oh my God! So
Oh my
nag-change!
God!
Grabe! Kasi ang hirap ng format ni Cap!
Oh my God!
So eto na.
So Cap, ibig mo sabihin, dahil meron ng Reyna Tercera, Reyna Segunda, Reyna Primera na lang, dalawa pa silang candidates.
Eto na nga, isang title na lang ang natitira.
Yes.
Dalawang kandidata ang nasa entablado.
Oh my God.
So yung isa, whoever is left is the loser.
Oh my God! So, hindi siya sasama sa parada?
Hindi!
You mean, Kapitan, siya yung kulelat?
Oo! So sino natira? Si Nick at saka si
Gab-gab!
Gabi!
Oh my
Si
God!
Gab!
Gab-gab! Nasaan ka ba? Paano ka nasan ka eh? Ayun,
Good luck sa
Gab-gab!
inyo.
Gab-gab! Mag-ano ka? Yan! Yan! Akyat mo! Para holding hands tayo!
At Cap,
Yan!
Magkaiba ang view ng audience, no?
Kapitana, may katungkulan po ang runner-up, di ba po?
Eto na nga. So, announce ko muna ang ating Reyna de las Flores Primera. At yung matira, yung talunan, syempre, bibigyan natin siya ng pagkakataon, no? So, gagawa siya ang ating intermission number.
Oh my God! So may pakonsuelo. Meron naman pa.
Oo, para naman ma-experience niya yung pinapalakpakan siya ng ating barangay.
May
So, ang
exposure.
ating Reyna de las Flores Primera na nakakolekta ng 500,000 pesos.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Plus the
thanks to the
mayors,
attaché
no?
case.
Yes.
Oo. Syempre, ang anak ni Mayor na si Nick. So, ibig sabihin,
Congrats, Nikki.
Congrats, Nick!
please welcome our talunan, si Gab for our intermission number.
Go, Gab-gab!
Gab-gab! We love you, Gab-gab!
We love you, Gab-gab!
Conquer the stage! Conquer the stage!
Bakit ba? Ako na naman ng talunan? Ako na naman, parating ako. Ako na lang bang sasalo? Ito ba ang kaparusahan ko sa pagiging alagad mo, O Diyos? O Panginoon? Hindi ba dahil ako'y naging mabuting pasunurin sa'yo, ako ang naging iyong sugo? Ito ba? Ito ba ang hamakan na ibinigay mo sa akin? Bakit ba? Bakit ba ako ang laging nasa ibaba? Hindi ba ako maangat? Aangat. Ang gulong ng buhay minsan ay nasa baba. Sana na may nasa taas.
Thank you very much, our intermission number. And now, ang ating Prinsesa Primera, Nick, congratulations!
Grabe! Every year ako sumasali pero mukhang... Ito na nga! Gosh!
Oh,
Naubos na yung...
Ayusin na natin ang headshots mo, Nick.
So may trabaho pala involved?
Ayan. Tumingin ka dun sa kabila. Okay. Yes. Tama yan.
I am Isa de los Santos of Makati City. Pwede na?
Pwede. Oh, ngayon, yung posing na para sa ano mo, sa mga poster mo para sa SK elections. Okay?
Ma'am Nick, 5 minutes na lang for your interview with Elle Magazine.
Oh my gosh.
5 minutes, ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Pagkatapos ng Elle Magazine, nakapila yung Manila Bulletin for their panorama newspaper, and then after that, Manila Times. Okay?
What? Bakit ba di Manila Times?
Tigpa 5 minutes lang, ha? Tig 5 minutes yun. Okay,
Wow.
ready?
Hindi ito. Wow. Ano nangyari? Di ba? Sabi naman sa'yo, di ba?
Uy, hiniram ko itong blower ni Mami.
Oh, edi blower mo na ako.
Oo, kasi ikaw lang naman ang mahaba ang buhok sa atin, Nick.
Oh, ayan na. RR.
Nakatapat ba? Nakatapat
Oo
ba
nga,
sa'yo?
sana nakatapat kasi baka mamaya baligtad.
Baka ba?
I guess. Oo nga.
Lalakas ang
Kasi-
plane.
Yeah, alam mo, RR, baliktarin mo. Yan.
Yan?
Yan, oo. No, the other way. The other, yan. Alam mo, RR, kasi parang gusto ko maging kasama naman dun sa, sa Santa Cruzan, pero parang hindi.
Kasi kaya ka ayaw siguro ng mga tao kasi ayaw nila na the person in power is again another person in power. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not clear because maybe your father is a position of power. And being a Reyna, maybe they don't want you to is a position of power. They don't want another person.
Ang galing naman nun, RR. Kasi kapapanood ko lang nung Kingdom eh. Kaya ang daming power. Ang hilig-hilig nila sa power, pwede naman na magtulungan na lang. Like, di ba?
I know, oo, pwede naman tayo. Kaya tayo, parang pwede naman tayo magtulong-tulong. Dito, tinutulungan kita magpaganda.
Nga.
Ay, sana sa sa mga darating na Flores de Mayo, ikaw na ang maging Queen of Barangay Buso-Buso.
My gosh, RR. Ang galing kung mangyari yun. Parang hindi pwede, pero pwede. Alam mo yun, parang kailangan mo lang talagang mag-take nung step na yun, no? RR, kailangan.
Alam mo, Nick, I believe you are always ready to take whatever step you need.
RR, ready na ako. Ready na ako, RR.
Handa ka na ba? Handa ka na ba? Ka na
Ang taon ko, hinintay ito. Simula pa ng bata ko. At ngayon, nandito na tayo. Kailangan lang humakbang. Kailangan lang humakbang. At nandito ang aking kaibigan. Lahat ng pamilya at kabarangay. Handa na ako. Handa na ako. Handa na kayo. Handa tayong lahat para dito. Handa na ako. Handa na kayo. Kailangan mapakinggan tayo ng mundo. Handa na ako. Handa na kayo. Handa na kayo. Handa na ako. Handa na
tayo.
Handa na tayo.
No.
Handa na tayo. Handa na tayo.
Babalik ako. Greetings mula sa impyerno.
Yes, everybody give it up for Spit Manila. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed that performance. What a way to start the festival, you guys. Of course, with the pioneers of improv in the Philippines. Once again, that was Spit Manila. Thank you so much for opening the ImprovisAsian Festival. Hi, everybody. Let me introduce myself. I am Maggie, your host for the rest of the evening. Hello, I hope you're enjoying, having a good time right here. If you are, just keep smashing the hearts right there in the comment section, or just comment your favorite queen, since we're talking about beauty queens and everything. So yes, that was Spit. If you want to know more about them, Third World Improv and everything they've got going on here in Manila, please visit linktree.com/improvph. Once again, that's linktree.com/improvph. So once again, thank you, Spit Manila. If you enjoyed that performance, comment below down there with your favorite queen. Any queen at all. Could be like somebody in the royalty, or maybe yas queen, drag queen, anything at all. So I hope you're enjoying the ImprovisAsian Festival. This runs from tonight until August 29. Okay, we have a lot of amazing improv groups around the world performing. We've got a panel. We've got three more events coming up tonight. We've got the panel, Improvisation. But what is Asian improv? We're starting off very important conversations here. And we've got Block 2 with Isprikitik, Lost in Translation, Sabadurbia, and of course, Block 3, Typical Heroes, Carambola, Miercolets. Now, of course, you guys, are you ready? Let's go to the next group. I'm so excited because now, from the land of beauty queens here in the Philippines, let's go to the land of royalty. So, or should I say kingdom? because they're from the UK. So this group is a largely London-based improv group going for 2 years plus now. We are very excited to have our very first international act right here at ImprovisAsian. So please, without further ado, let's welcome Comediasians.
Woo! 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 Oh, hello, everyone. And thank you so much to ImprovisAsian for having us. We are delighted to be coming all the way from the land of rain and royalty. Today, we have for you what looks like a brand new form. It's really a mishmash of a couple of existing forms. So we'll start off with a short form, which is Storyteller Die. And I already see this splendid list of suggested stories we'll run through in a minute to select an excellent title. Wow. And that story will be the inspiration for us to have a little chat from our real lives and go straight in to a set of scenes. So the second part is kind of a living room. And so what I thought, actually, my dear audience, if you feel so inclined, perhaps to suggest a name for our new form, is mashing together two parts. We have Storyteller Die and a living room. And Death in the Living Room doesn't quite have the right ring for a nice, jolly, improvised comedy set. So if anyone has any suggestions for our brand new-ish form, then they would be most splendidly received by the five of us who are here today representing Comediasians. So, whoa. Yes, without further ado then, we shall kick off into the first part, the story. So Storyteller Die, the way this is going to work is I shall be the host, the god, and the representative of death in the story. And the other four, our excellent storytellers, shall together, jointly and in turn, tell a made-up story. And the way it's going to work is the game is to tell the story smoothly. So I'm going to shift the spotlight from storyteller to storyteller. And when the spotlight shifts to them, their job is to continue the story wherever it left off, mid-sentence, without any major pauses, ums, ahs, buts, because they know the story. They've already rehearsed the story. They memorized the story last night, right? And if, lo and behold, they're too good, if they survive, if they keep telling the story too well, then we shall move on to the next chapter of this story. And in the next chapter, there shall be an extra level of difficulty. It might be they have to make each line rhyme, or who knows? We're going to find that out. And the game continues until there's only one survivor. And that survivor shall finish the story. And then, with great inspiration, we shall proceed to the rest of our form, whose name shall be hopefully determined by the end of our set. Right. So my fellow players, have you had a look at the suggested titles? Any of them that jump out? I shall quickly read through them just to acknowledge how wonderful we've got. The Legend of the Wandering Onion, Ang Alamat Ampalaya, The Legend of the Bitter Gourd, excuse me for my pronunciation, The One Who Was Ghosted After 2 Years, The Snake and the Cat.
Oh, that's got to be here. Come on.
The Legend of One Who Lived After Being Stabbed in the Neck, The Slippers by the Door, The Water Going East, Space Volcano Man, The Last Time Regis Said Yes to Dahlia, The Legend of Salang, The Mystery of the Disappearing Cake, I Saw a Box of Chocolate Under the Bed, I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up.
Ghosted.
Okay.
I like Space Volcano Man.
Space Volcano Man.
I've got a feeling he's going to make an appearance in this story.
Very well. Welcome to the inaugural story reading of the one who was ghosted after 2 years. Subtitle: The Space Volcano Man.
Don't look at me like that, Mr. Flaherty said to his partner. You know, ever since we went on that date on the space volcano, you've been all cold. Ironic, because we were surrounded by lava. And Mr.
There were lots of plants and exciting things going on around the slopes of the volcano. But unfortunately, it didn't make the date any better. In fact, it may have made it worse. Mr.
After 2 years of being together, they were so in love. They even finished each other's sentences. One day, when they were at the supermarket, they saw on the shelf
that there was a volcano-like thing of chocolate cake that could spurt out the hot melted chocolate from the inside the cake. And so they decided maybe this will reinvigorate our
love for each other. And maybe the cake is the thing that we've been missing. So they scrimped and saved and got all of their change out of the pockets. And they went to the cashier and said, please, can I have
some of that volcano deliciousness? But volcanoes can erupt.
But they were shortchanged by $5. And as he turned round to say to his partner,
Mr. Flaherty suddenly got a pain in his chest and a thudding, and it kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder.
And then it was just a short ride to the nearest hospital. Mr. Flaherty couldn't take the anticipation, the not knowing of what it is to be ghosted.
And these people are just too good, too good. We're going to move on to the second chapter, which is titled The Snake and the Cat. And all of this must be said in a nice lyrical, poetic manner.
No.
And I shall be the judge of whether it is or not.
at the hospital, there was nowhere to go. We just sat on this chair, looking for someone to care. As he waited
and waited for a feeling, any kind of sense of belonging to arrive, Mr. Flaherty realized he was alone. He was stood in the hospital.
In the hospital, there was just him and space and nothing else. He just drifted off into a coma.
And while in that coma, he dreamt of his long-lost love that disappeared after all those years. And he decided, I'm going to get out of this coma and I'm going to cheer and cheer. And so...
Right, this is all clearly too easy for these people. Okay, so the next chapter, which is titled The Slippers by the Door, shall feature no letter A.
Well,
bye, too slow.
and
bye, too slow.
there is no word in this world but I myself try to do my best. So
story. Right.
letter A is so hard.
Nikita is the winner. Everybody come back. Ooh. Yeah. It reminds me of games at school.
Uh-huh.
You know, where I played this game when I was at Info School that was very unpolitically correctly titled in those days. It was called Chinese Whispers.
I thought that was going to be that.
I mean, I'm sure it's got a better title now. But yeah, so we're sitting in a ring, you know, I was probably about 5, maybe 6 years old. And the way the game works is someone whispers in the next person's ear a word, and the person's got to pass it on, and it's got to go around in a circle, and it gradually changes. And my inclination, I don't know why, was just to be naughty. So I just changed the word to toilet paper, which just had everyone giggling in no time at all. And the problem was that the teacher decided to investigate and kind of outwitted me basically by saying, yeah, okay, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? Oh, swan, geese, duck, something, until toilet paper. Then I was just caught red-handed.
It's not really in the spirit of it's not really in the spirit of the game to do that.
It's weird, like what you used to do as a child, because it makes me think of like when like how much we used to just lie all the time just for no reason. And like there was one time where there was this person that lived opposite my house and had like RS on the post box, and so I told everyone that was R.L. Stein's house, and he lived opposite me. The guy that wrote Goosebumps, and then everyone started at school believe me. It's like, why would he live there of all places?
I used to I don't know why I did this. I used to go around and say that I was psychic to everyone. I honestly, I think I said it so much that I believed it. Like I really believed it. If I said it as much as I believed that I could read people's minds and I could just know what they were saying and thinking. I can't think of any kind of like time where I actually used it though. I feel like I never was challenged, and I feel like the kids just accepted it. Like, sure, that this weird girl can just read my mind. I don't know.
There's okay, on the topic of like believing in stuff, I don't believe in astrology, and I don't get it. I'm not a fan of it. But the one thing that's like at least of interest to me is my friend saying, she said, I don't believe in astrology, but I love how much it pisses off straight men. And I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. That'll do it. What I'm saying is, I now believe in astrology.
I think we've got enough now. Shall we do some scenes?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I knew it. I knew it. I just had to believe hard enough, and my invisible friend would materialize.
Jeremy, it's so great to see you. We've had so much fun over the years.
No. It's so great to see you, Frederick. This is the first time I've seen you because you've been invisible until now.
Do you know what? All my other invisible friends, they keep teasing me. They keep saying, yeah, sure, you've got a visible friend.
Oh. What kind of friend is that who teases you? I mean, the thing about friendship is you just got to trust each other. whatever happens, whatever comes. I mean, that's what friendship's about, right, Frederick?
Ah, Jeremy, you were spot on. Yeah, it's not about teasing you, and it's not about sending you out to get sweets every time that there's an invisible party. You're right. What we have, that's proper friendship.
Oh, I always knew that the friends that I couldn't see were my real friends. And now I can see you.
Am I how you imagined?
You're kind of rounder and yellower.
Oh, that's great. I've been hitting my roundness shakes. Really going for that round physique. So I'm glad it's paying off.
I mean, it's paid off so splendidly, Frederick. I mean, I just, somehow when you're invisible, I imagined you to be square-shaped. You know, I envisioned you like Mr. Strong, you know, from the Mr. Men. It's like very...
With the tiny little hat?
Yeah. And here you are with your big, round, yellow body and your giant bowler hat. I mean, who knew?
Yeah, I get that a lot, you know. It's surprising how many people think I sound like a square person.
Oh. Well, now you're here and now you're visible. Let's do our friendship thingy.
Make friends, never break friends.
Oi. My big brother, he's in year 9. They're eyeing us up as their youngers. You get me? They want us to be part of the cool gang. We're gonna be cool.
We're gonna be part of the cool gang.
Yeah. They're
oh yeah.
Well, not yet though, because they were saying we need to prove our mettle. You see what I'm saying? We need
prove
to
our mettle.
We need to prove that we can prank.
Oh, got you.
What you got? But what you got though? Let's brainstorm.
All right. Let's tell them that, you know, dogs can't see.
Well, that's pretty good. All right.
And then when they go up to the dog, they're going to be scared because the dog's going to go straight for them.
Do you think we're playing it a bit low key? I feel like we can pump that up a bit more.
Go, give me a new one.
How about we put food coloring in the custard, so instead of yellow custard, it's actually purple.
Mate, that's sick. That's disgusting. What is wrong with you?
I mean, is sick good or sick bad?
Sick bad.
What? I thought that was...
Who wants purple custard?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's too far. That ruins their day.
Oh, shit. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah, do not swear in this school.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cool kids do not swear.
I watched a bad movie yesterday. The babysitter was put it on, and it's all I could focus on while the babysitter and her boyfriend were behind me.
What? Why was her boyfriend there?
I don't know. They just told me that I could only look forward and never to look behind me.
Good advice for life.
What are you two geeks doing in the hallway?
We're not geeks. We're cool.
Yeah, we're about to be youngers.
Hey, did you know dogs can't see?
Okay. I don't believe this. Is this a joke?
No.
If you're not,
You just got pranked.
Did you see her face? She
I got pranked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this was a very rubbish prank.
What are you two geeks doing in the hallway?
Stop, do it again. Go on, your turn.
Hey, we're just waiting on lunch. Have you seen the custard?
No. Why should I care?
I just think you might.
I'm going to report you to the teacher.
What? Why?
Oh, knock.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
You're going to get detention.
No, please, no.
Cool kids don't get detention.
You keep pranking people in the hallway. This is what you get.
No.
And welcome to today's cooking challenge, where we're going to teach you how to make a spaceman volcano. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready, I think.
Great. So first of all, you'll need your bowl. Have you got a bowl?
Got a bowl. Yes, I've got a bowl. Yeah, got it here.
Right.
I'm not sure about this. I think, I have a feeling something's not going to go right. I think maybe, I don't know, just got an inkling. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, they don't call me Mr. Fugglesbottom for nothing. I mean, I'm the best cake maker in all of Peckham. I mean, this is why I'm auditioning for my cookery show. But yeah, I'm sure this will be fine. Do you get these premonitions often?
Yeah, it's telling me right now that you're lying. It's telling me right now you're lying.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have got on here if I was just lying, would I? I'm just I'm mixing this petrol into the cake mix.
Petrol? Oh God! Well,
yeah, it's a very key ingredient.
Okay. Yeah, do you know what? Actually, I see if you pour it out like on the street, it goes rainbow colors. So maybe like our cake is going to be rainbow colors.
And just tap it. Give it a good tap. There we go. Right. So that's like the base. And then you just need a match.
Just need a match. Wait. Oh, okay. Ooh. I just had a vision that, the last time you lit something, you burnt the whole house down.
Where did you get that impression from?
Well, I don't know. It was like a birthday party, and you were lighting the candles, and then somehow one of the candles flipped, and the curtains started to catch light, and then the whole flat.
We met before.
Yes, I'm your friend from 9th grade. Don't you remember the one that was just people thought was weird?
Poppy the weird psychic girl.
Yes, David. Yes, that's me. You look disappointed.
David.
What?
David, as your invisible friend, I'm warning you. That Poppy, she thinks she can hear voices. Don't trust her. She's really weird.
Don't trust her. She's weird.
Yeah. I think this will all be fine,
No, I don't think so. I think you should just put that match down.
Get rid of her. Ban her.
Just... Oh, bloody hell. What did I say?
You're telling me that you don't worship at the altar of Quentin Tarantino?
He's way too style, not enough substance for me, Birdie.
Women!
I mean, who ever heard of a Royale with cheese?
It's only his greatest invention alongside the Big Mac.
Ugh, come on, you gotta have salad with ranch dressing. That's a real substantial meal.
Salad. Rabbit food.
Buddy.
Can you at least admit that he's a visionary?
What did he see?
What did he see? What doesn't he see? What doesn't he see? White men, feet. You know, the list is endless.
The feet of white men. You know that?
No. White men on the screen, their faces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women's feet up close. Close-up shots. Sexy.
See, I can see the feet of white men being kind of an interesting artistic premise for an artsy film, but perverted close-ups of women's feet and
yeah, it's think about it, because you're so used to seeing the white men, right? Used to seeing them on screen, and then suddenly close up of a woman's foot. It's subverting the expectation.
It's telling you that white men are basically good enough to be stomped under women's feet.
Exactly, you get it.
Oh, okay, I'm on board with that then. I didn't see that. God.
Yeah. Oh. But also, white men are better.
Okay. Samantha.
Yeah.
I didn't know you got the letter from Old Man Willikers as well. So you're staying the night in this haunted house too?
I am.
Oh my god.
This is great news.
Oh, spooky. Well, to be honest, I know those are. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, it's to overcome my fears of creepy men and ghosts.
So you've been reading a lot of Goosebumps too, then? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why did you get in? What's your reason?
Well, first reason is that, I feel like I have this irrational fear of ghosts, but not like spiritual ghosts, of like former lovers who just blank me and don't text me back after months on end. So I kind of want to get over that. Basically, I'm hoping to see some ghosts around here who have jilted me from long.
You want to see ghosts, so you actually believe they're real?
Well, I don't know. Just I don't know.
How do I not know that you're not a ghost right now? Is this a figment of my imagination?
I'm here
Are
right
you
now.
a white man trying to?
Please, no.
I can't trust my own mind.
Well, I'm here. I'm responding to you. Therefore, I'm not ghosting you.
But you could be a figment of my imagination.
Well, I don't know. Do I look big, circular, big and square? Oh wait, what the fuck is this?
I know you. You look familiar. Nah, don't know you.
Wait, that was Jerome. We dated back in school. He said I wasn't cool enough. Fuck.
You ghosted him?
He ghosted. Well, actually, no. He broke up with me. It was quite sad, actually.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
It's okay. It's what I came here for, to really process it. But you were saying.
I was saying that I'm very unsure of myself, and I'm unsure of you.
Look,
I have my suspicions. I feel like you're hiding something from me. Tell me what you're hiding.
Where are you getting this from? We literally just saw a ghost and you're focusing on my shit? No, we just had confirmation of a supernatural. Oh my god.
Oh, you just got pranked.
What?
We got you.
You pranked me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Fine. This is a big prank. How'd you feel, Sam?
I feel really sad.
Oh.
Told
and
you
I'm
it was
telling
too far.
you. I've got no words to say other than I'm going to report you.
No.
You're going to get detention.
No.
No. And that's our show. Thank you very much. Just wanted to quickly wrap up as we had some excellent suggestions on the names for our new form. So quickly, the ones we got are Smash in the Living Room, A Light in the Living Room, Schrodinger's Storyteller, Mishmash All That Sash, The Living Room, The Elephant in the Living Room, Picnic at the Living Room, and Mr. Fugglesbottom. What do you think? Any of those jump out?
I like Elephant in the Living Room. That one's pretty fun.
I really like Schrodinger's living room.
Yeah.
Simon, you're just mashing them up now.
Yeah,
I just like I'm using that Chinese whispers approach. I'm just hearing what I like and then repeating what I want.
Cool. Alrighty. I'm going to exercise. My personal opinion is with Schrodinger's Storyteller.
Okay.
So that will hold for now, and then we're just going to go off screen and fight it out. Thanks very much for everyone. Enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you so much, Comediasians. That was so hilarious. I especially that Tarantino part. You were spot on with the feet and everything. So yes, everybody, please follow the Comediasians sites on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. They're all over social media. Please do go check them out. We know we're not going to be seeing much of them after this festival, but you can still, of course, connect with them after the festival. And who knows, we're here about fostering great connections and everything. So, okay, now, speaking of invisible people, if you enjoyed their performance, comment down below and tag someone who ghosted you. Just kidding. No, don't do that. Just keep smashing those likes and hearts and share our posts and videos. Thank you once again to Comediasians. And if you are so kind, if you have some time or some money to spare, our team at ImprovisAsian has been working tirelessly, mostly volunteers. So if you would like, you could go buy them a coffee, give them a little tip, a little treat at code.fi.com/ImprovisAsian Festival. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And now, on to the last act of this block. But don't you worry, guys, you are in for a treat. This group has been performing short and long form shows in the country for more than 10 years. Okay, decades long. And their marquee shows of the past include Popcorn, Improv with the Stars, and Katil Con. So without further ado, everybody, please welcome Improv Comedy Mumbai.
Hello, Asia. How are you doing today? So, this is the time that you guys say we are doing good or whatever, but I can't hear you. I'm hoping that we keep getting the chats from you. So we are Improv Comedy Mumbai, three of us. I'm Yogesh.
I'm Avinash.
Ankit, you're on mute. This is how we start our shows. This is our normal thing. We say, Ankit, you are on mute is our standard line. That's our opening line. That's how we start. Right. Ankit, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Ankit and I was on mute. Sorry for that.
Perfect. So what we are going to do for you is we are going to tell you stories. Maybe one, maybe more than one. You have given us a suggestion. You have told us of some places in Mumbai, including Bangalore, which is a totally different city, 500 kilometers away. But I still love that suggestion. And New Delhi, which is another city which is totally on the other direction. 1,500 kilometers away. But that's fine. It's all India. It's all good. Guys, why don't you look at the suggestions and see which one we want to take? And in the meanwhile, let me just tell the audience what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we are going to tell you stories, and we really need your input. So please keep chatting as much as you can, as you've been doing in the first and second show. And one of the kind people in the staging team will tell me what is going on, and I will keep reading it and hopefully keep modifying the stories based on your suggestions. Between stories, we have a very simple transition. I will just say story 2 and a suggestion. That's all there is to it. And with that, should we start, guys?
Yes.
Which one do we want to take? Central Mumbai, Worli, Gateway of India, Hawaii. We have never done a story.
We can start with Gateway of India.
We can start with Gateway of India. That's a fantastic one. All right, Gateway of India. Guys, you can take off go off camera, and once I give the suggestions, give the brief, you can come back on. So Gateway of India. Gateway of India is in south of Mumbai, the southern tip of Mumbai. In fact, it was made to commemorate the coming of Queen of England to India. And that area is very crowded. It has a lot of touristy places, bazaars, or used to have a lot of touristy bazaars where tourists would go and buy all kinds of stuff, trinkets from all over India, cameras. It has some really nice restaurants. And nearby in Colaba and other places, there are some really big high-rise buildings. The richest man of India, at one time the richest man in the world for some brief period, he used to live not very far from Gateway of India. And this story actually starts with a high-rise building, a very sophisticated couple in a high-rise building in Colaba.
I don't enjoy this balcony anymore.
Okay, baby, then look at me. Look at me.
You know what? It is just your flirting that has kept me in this city for this long. I mean, how much can a person look at the sea all the time?
I totally agree. It's so overrated looking at the sea. Seriously, people said this is good. That's why I bought this property. I personally don't. I don't like it. People like it, so I buy it because you know how I am, right?
I know. Even the cigarette that you're smoking is because your your friend circle, they all smoke. And you think that, it is important for you to smoke, to be around share market people, to be the greatest broker of Mumbai.
Ruchika, honestly, I even didn't want to get into a relationship or everyone was doing it. So I thought, let's do it. We're talking, so I just...
No. Are you saying that you were forced to...
Cigarette. We were talking about the cigarette. And I agree with you. People were doing it, so I started doing it. And now it has become part of my life.
So you say, oh my God, So he said, you married me only because people said you should get married to me. And then now I'm just a part of your life. That's it. I'm just a part of your life, and that is it.
Look at outside
Ravi
the
beta. Ravi beta, you are always smoking.
Pranam Sasuji.
Mom.
Live a long, daughter-in-law. May you have many sons. Ravi beta, you're always smoking. I get a headache, you know that, right?
I'm quitting from today.
Very good. That's my beta. That's my cute beta. That's the beta I have bought up from this big. It's so tall. I'm proud of you. Throw it away now. Throw it into the sea.
Today, means after 7 p.m.
Ravi beta.
Mom.
I thought once I marry you to Ruchika, you will give up all your bad habits. You'll stop smoking. You'll stop drinking.
Mom, actually what happened?
Yeah.
I never Ruchika, because everyone was getting married, I got married to Ruchika.
Did you say you never liked me? Did you just say that?
But what is so problem in this?
I'm sorry, Mataji. I am very agitated because your son just said that he got married to me forcefully.
I also got married, not forcefully, beta. My parents decided and I got married. Your parents decided and you got married. That is the way it is.
Arranged marriage is a different thing. I'm saying he didn't want to get married at all. I mean,
see, all my friends,
all young men are like that. They don't want to get married. It is up to us women to make sure that they behave.
Mom, I still love you.
But Mataji, what is the point of even living in this high-rise here around in Mumbai, the most independent city in the world, where you just can't take your own decisions? I mean, he married me because of some kind of peer pressure, some kind of arranged marriage thing.
Okay,
some
Ruchika,
reason for him. I am his nicotine tablet.
No, Ruchika, just hear me out. Okay, hear me out.
I will just go and get chai for you. And nimbu pani for you. You need to cool down. Don't worry about this. It all happens. My marriage was also, but when I got married initially, my husband and I used to fight. Your father, Ravi. We used to fight all the time. But within 10 years, everything was good. We started loving each other.
Yes. See, I just said something very honestly, like, you don't have to take it like so personally. See, now you bought this dress which you're wearing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's Sabachi. What is it called? Sabachi. What is that? The famous guy who makes this cool.
It's Sabyasachi.
Sabyasachi.
Yes.
You didn't know about this guy. All your friends were buying stuff and you thought, okay, let me try. It's the same thing.
Our marriage is same as trying new dresses. Are you saying that I am like some brand that you see on the street and you say, wow, everyone's wearing it. Let me get married to this brand.
See, I'm bad with giving references, but see, what I mean is that you get influence around the world, and that's okay. Actually, you're looking very nice today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This is really, like I said, I got it from... Wait! That is not the real thing. It is about you and I.
What?
Are you in love with me? Or are you just in this relationship because it is necessary to be in a relationship?
See, what is love? Like, see, what is love? What?
Love is when you care about someone.
I care about you. I care about my mother.
When you're honest to someone, and you are honest to me. Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. When the dupatta falls down, you look more prettier. But you look prettier now also. I'm not saying that. But if it's falling down, it is also prettier.
Should I remove it or should it fall down by itself?
It's when it happens naturally, when the breeze that comes from the window,
yes.
And
Okay. Then I will wait for the breeze to come.
Let's wait for some time.
So you don't,
You know,
Mataji.
kids, my husband, Ravi's father, he was the same. I would get so angry with him. And then he would say something so nice that I will wait for the breeze to come so that the dupatta falls. I would think before that he's just a pig. And he was a pig a little bit. And I changed him quite a lot. So Ruchika, you also have to do that.
No, I
you have to change
understand.
him.
Yes, it is us
that was-
ladies who
that-
change the pig into
that was
dog
not
and
pig.
man.
But then he would say something very nice, something beautiful. And that, you just have to say something nice to each other.
Yes.
And say something more nice. And something
You know,
more.
yeah. Once my father told my mom, why angels fly? Because they carry themselves lightly, and that's where my mom and dad got romantic, and I was born. Mom, I know that story.
Okay.
Mom, do you want to wait here for the breeze to come?
No, I want you to say something nice to Ruchika. And then I want a grandson.
Oh, exactly. Okay, Ruchika, you are my umbrella, and I am your rain.
Oh my God, this is so romantic. Oh my God. You know what? Maybe it's time to create another relationship out of our relationship.
Ravi, why don't you say something like, love is like loving cigarette?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean, Mataji? Can't he have his own freedom to at least say what he wants to me? That also somebody else has to tell him that, like getting married. Huh? He can't even...
Just...
I am going.
No, Ruchika, listen.
Oh, Mom. Mom, okay, I made this really cool. Ruchika is not there, but hear this out. Love is like a cigarette. When it is about to finish, and if you don't throw it, it burns. How's that?
I liked it. Come into the room. We'll make a little kid, and we'll name him Siggy.
Okay, Mom. I think.
All right, next story. And our suggestion for the next story is a spoon.
Spoon.
Lovely. Oh my God. This is so delicious. Oh my God. Oh, I just love the street food of Ghatkopar. I'm telling you, anything you get is awesome.
This food is so awesome. It is the soul. The food doesn't touch the throat. It touches the soul.
True.
Soul.
You know what? The food is so nice that it doesn't fill the stomach. It doesn't fill the stomach.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Don't feel the stomach.
It fills the heart.
Heart. It is heart. So good, the flavor, the taste. And it is like
exuberant.
Exuberant. It's good. Food is good.
It is like,
yeah.
It is like you are heading into a tunnel. But you can't see the light. But you eat the food and light just shine into your eyes.
Yeah. And that's mind blowing. It's so good.
Sir, you still have to pay. No writing an account book today.
What? Money? Money is so little.
It is little.
Food is, it's this food. Money? You're talking money? This man is money.
You don't understand. Money is like
money. What is money?
Dirt.
Money. Dirt.
Dirt.
Money is man-made thing. Food is man-made. It is also food is God-made.
God,
Sir.
yes.
God
Sir.
made. God made people. People made food. Food is food.
Sir, what is little is my children, sir. 3 children.
Oh,
Okay.
good children.
And
Children.
God made the food, but sir, I made it and gave it to you. I paid for it
yes.
and I bought it.
Yes,
I have
yes.
to pay.
Brilliant.
I have to pay.
Good, you had
Very
children.
good. Very good.
And you get old, you have children to take care of you.
You. Yes.
You, when you're dying, a kid will give you what is needed.
Food, they will give you food.
Blood.
Sir, but I need to give them what is needed today. So I need money, sir.
Money is dirt. I said it. Money is dirt. Money, what is money?
Money is... See, when kid comes...
Sir, money is the what I pay to my landlord for living in my chal, sir.
I know.
He will put... I don't pay the money, I will have to live in under the bridge, sir. With my 3 children. All little children. I'll have to live in the dirt. Sir, all the dirt that you talked about. Money is dirt. I will actually live in the dirt.
This guy is spoiling the mood, yaar.
Yes, yaar. Yes. Such nice food and so bad thinking. I mean...
To try your own food, I think you try your own food.
Yes, you try this. You try this. Eat from my hand.
Beauty.
Have eat from my... Little. Just one. Yes, just one.
Have it.
Yes.
Say.
How is it? Have more.
No. It is good, sir.
No, you must have this. Come.
It is good, sir.
No. Just one. Just one. One more.
Sir, I have made these golgappas, sir.
Perfect. See?
Sir, please understand, sir. This food is good. Of course, I have made it myself.
How you started smiling?
No, sir.
Food is smile.
No, sir. But
it touches the soul, you know.
Yeah.
The soul. You know, sometimes the
fills
soul
the heart. It fills the heart.
Sir, every time you come to my shop, talk about soul and everything, and then you go away and you don't pay me, sir. Please pay me, sir. Please pay me. It is my food. I know it is good.
Okay.
No relationship, eh? I mean, every time we come to your shop only, there are so many other shops we come to your shop. And this kind of relationship.
Okay, I got it. This guy needs money. Okay.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Fine. Money is dirt, man. Dirt.
Take this.
Yeah.
But your food, it touches the heart.
Fills the soul.
If someone says, die after this, I'm on it. After eating this food, if the boss come and just
smashes into us, it's okay. See, I have a knife with me.
No, sir.
I kill this man.
Wait, sir. You had 3 months of money left. You have paid me 1 month. No? Huh? I got cash. Listen, sir. Listen. Try this dosa now. Try.
Oh, wow.
My God.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yes,
My God.
Right.
Finish.
Right.
Everything.
Oh.
Don't die, sir. Come again tomorrow. Don't die, sir.
No,
don't die. Sir, go carefully. No, don't step in front of the bus. Huh?
No.
I got 3 little children. 3 children, sir. So they depend on you, sir.
Good to have children. Children help you when you get older.
Yes.
I will get old. They will be taking care of me, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll go.
Love you.
All right, sir. Bye. Come again tomorrow, sir.
Pakka. Coming now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye. And for the last story, our suggestion is as I scroll through, a razor. Good do. What are you doing? What is Raju doing?
Boss, we want to be hygienic now.
Good do, Raju. If you go with, if you go in front of people, if you go in front of police, they will laugh at you.
Why
But when
is that so?
I mean, I am laughing at you. You are the biggest goons in Dharavi.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You go and take money from me.
Yes, we do.
You can't go like,
See, I want to get rid of this hair.
good do, Raju. You work for me because people are scared of you. If you go like this, nobody's going to be scared of you.
Boss, last night we went to collect some money from this lady.
Right.
Lady vendor, the clothes shop. We
Right.
went over there, and instead of giving money, she covers her nose. She covers her nose and then goes away from us. That was not scary, sir. And they were not scared because of us. They were scared because of our stinky breaths, our stinky, dirty, ugly hair coming from everywhere. No, sir, this is not good, sir.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care. You have to do you have to get me my money. That's all I care about.
There's a personal life, there's a personal life, and there's a business life.
Yes.
See, I have downloaded. Yeah, I downloaded a book, 5 a.m. by Robin Sharma.
I read it.
Raju, you are in mafia. There is no personal life for you. Okay? You do what I tell you. There is no personal life.
Sir, boss, I'm following a motivational guru. This motivational guru says the most important person is you. You perfect.
You as in me.
Everything else.
Me,
No, sir. Yourself, you are perfect, sir. Then everything else is.
Say again, who is the most important person?
You.
You is me.
No, sir, not you. Me.
Who are you talking to?
He's saying you.
Who are you talking to? Hey, 1 minute. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking
You're not talking.
I'm talking about you, the boss.
See? So most important person is the boss. You.
No.
You're talking to the boss. And boss is you and the most important person, right?
Yes, boss, you are.
Correct.
Boss, see, I'm understanding one thing. You are always so hard in your life. You're
wearing a lungi, boss. You're wearing a lungi. What is this? Should wear nice suit. Do you see in Western countries, the boss, they have like the glasses, they have got nice guns, and they have got nice suit and tie. And they're well, good looking, handsome.
And the opposite sex doesn't like this kind of the beard. You need to be presentable. That's what I realized.
Yes.
No, Raju, our job is not to be liked. Our job is to be scary, to be feared. See,
but there is little.
Yes.
You want love as well sometimes. Why are you so hard always? I never understood.
Boss, I'm putting whitening cream on my face. I want to look nice, handsome.
Okay, we will do one thing. Raju, you go and try to extract money from the restaurant, from Swami's restaurant. And the two of us will wait and see what happens. We'll see from far.
Okay. Bolo, what do you want?
Hey, it's me.
Fine. Namaskar. What do you want?
What I want? Money. Get some money quickly.
No. You give me money and then I give you dosa. Not the other way around.
Hey, look at me. Look at me.
What? Nice looking chap, handsome looking person. You want me to give you money? You're a beggar. You don't look like a beggar.
Hey, no. See, I'm a Don's man.
Don's
Raju.
man.
Raju. See the gun?
Oh my God! Oh, gun!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh, sorry.
I just changed
Raju,
how I look.
Raju,
I'm still dangerous from inside.
No, you are. Raju,
Give the money. Give.
Okay. With time, we have to modernize. Budu, Raju, I agree with you.
Yes.
I think this is the way we'll do.
So I
So
think
we
you
will
need to
be
save your upper body.
Mafia
as well,
dons with a smile.
Yes,
What is
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Mafia Don with a smile. What a name. Love it.
And that is the end of our show. Thank you so much, Asia, for being there. Again, we are Improv Comedy Mumbai with Avinash, Ankit, and me, Yogesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Please follow us on Instagram. Thank you for calling us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Improv Comedy Mumbai. Oh my goodness, that was the first show, you guys. Can you believe it? It's over just like that. The first block, 3 amazing acts for ImprovisAsian Festival. Thank you so much, you guys. My goodness, I would like to share with you a comment. If you haven't been seeing our comment section, our very active comment section on Facebook Live, you know it's good improv when object work of food makes you hungry. So thank you, Christian, for that comment. Yes, it is definitely true. And we have heard so much from you guys in the comment section. Round of applause, everybody, for our 3 acts. Thank you so much, Spit Manila. Thank you so much to Comediasians and to Improv Comedy Mumbai. Now, I know we can't really hear applause right here through the virtual space, but you know what? You can make your voices heard. Show people some love over on the comment section. Heart all the posts. Yes, follow them on their social media. All of these groups. We hope to see more of you in the future, whether in person when it's all safe or maybe out in the digital world just like this. So thank you, everybody, to our viewers who watched the first block, the first show of ImprovisAsian. Don't go anywhere. Keep your eyes glued to the Facebook page, because right up next in this space right here, don't go away. We're gonna have here in our Facebook page, we're kicking off our series of exciting panels. Our first discussion explores the question, what is Asian improv anyway? So we're all here. This is ImprovisAsian. What is this whole shebang about? What does it mean? How do we explore? Ask questions and engage. Keep glued here on the Facebook page. And remember, our team over here at ImprovisAsian has been working so hard. So if you would love to buy them a coffee or give us some tips, go to code-fi.com/ImprovisAsian Festival. We have merch. Yes, we have merch. We have some cool swag right there. Order some shirts and order some coffee for our volunteers, and check out the workshops. Yes, there are so many amazing workshops here at ImprovisAsian. You can find all the information at ImprovisAsianFestival.com. So don't go away. We've got the panel. We've got the second block at 10 p.m. to 12 midnight with Isprikitik, Lost in Translation, Sabaderbia, and Hinprov. And of course, block 3 for all the night owls out there. If you have a little bit of insomnia, have some trouble sleeping, might as well laugh it off, right? From 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., we've got Typical Heroes, Carambola, and Miércoles. All right, this is just one of the many amazing shows right here at ImprovisAsian. Thank you so much to the audience, to our prod team behind the scenes, to Carl and Ae for opening the festival, and you lovely, lovely improvisers and audience right here. So please don't go away. We'll be right back for panel number 1. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. See you later.
improv in the Philippines, and this is my cat figure. And this is the very first panel that we're having. Improv is Asian, but what exactly is Asian improv? And I'm joined by three friends right now, and we'll know more about them as we go along. Say hello, please, to Timothy, Yo, Jay Wang, and Laxmi. Priya, hello, everyone. I want to get the ball rolling right away. With the first question, where are you right now? And how do you do improv where you are? Let's start with Tim.
Hi, everyone. I am Tim. I am based in Singapore at the moment. It is the same time zone as the Philippines, so I'm at a comfortable 9 p.m. at where I'm at. And how do we do improv here?
Yeah, what's the improv scene like in Singapore?
The improv scene, well, it's grown quite significantly over the pandemic because people are stuck in the country, and unlike most other countries, we are just an island, so you can't go very far, which means they look for things to do, which means they come and take improv classes, which has been great. I think it's been one hell of a ride, because back when I first came back to Singapore in 2014, there was barely a scene. I think there were like 8 of us who do improv together, and now I think easily in the hundreds. So we're
6-7 years later, so much growth in Singapore. We have Jay Wang. Hey, Jay.
Hey, everyone. I'm here calling in from Beijing. So luckily, our scene has been going live since last August. So it's been a year since we've been having live shows, sold out shows. I hosted a 50-person workshop last night. So COVID in China, it's still a thing. It's made a brief comeback, but mostly we have things under control. And Beijing Improv, we're a nonprofit organization, so all of our proceeds are donated to charity, and all of our workshops are free for the community in English and in Chinese. So really exciting times, and hoping the best for all the other countries as well. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, Jay. And Laxmi. There you go.
I'm doing the auspicious am I on or not question for our panel.
Yes, you are.
I'm
You're
Laxmi. I'm
on.
joining in from Bangalore, India. Oh, I think there's a lag. Fantastic. So I perform with Improv Comedy Bangalore, and I'm not very old in improv proper. I have done playback theatre, which is a kind of improvisational form of real life stories, for longer. I have done it for a decade, but improv proper, it's only since 2018 that I began. As for the scene, it's very exciting because it is also a time when a lot of Indian young folks are looking for new things to do, and improv, like right there, sits as a form which espouses itself to be democratic, and anybody can do it, and is a community form. And there is improv. It of course started in the metro cities, but now it also has a presence in tier 2 cities or smaller spaces. But I think what is interesting is also that we are, however, it's still in this stage where if you were to tell a non-suspecting person I'm an improviser, they'd be like, you mean stand-up? Because stand-up is also something really famous around the same time, and it garners a larger. So it's a duality. It's growing where people know where to go. It's growing, and where people do not know, it's still of course only a very privileged section of the society is able to access it. So yeah, that's how it is from my limited understanding.
So hello from all of us from Singapore, from Beijing, from Bangalore. Hello from all of us. This is the Improvisation Festival panel. But what exactly is Asian Improv? And I'd like to start with that. You're relatively new to improv with a capital I, Laxmi, but improvisation and improvisational theater is not new to you. Your background is actually in playback, which is also improvisational in a way. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think so much of the labeling and the competence skill building is so mapped to the shows that one does and the training that one does. Because it was always called playback theatre and improvisation was a tool within it, much like in devising or in movement theatre or in even proscenium theatre or even in more traditional Indian forms, of which I cannot speak very, very eloquently, but I know has been like a deep-rooted truth of like the energy of the room and the audience sort of speaks to the storyteller and then the storyteller tells the story, right? So in that sense, yeah, I think improv is everywhere. And I think largely we are also as a community known as a storytelling community. We have very, very strong base in different storytelling modalities. As for me, why I think there is something about being a playbacker and sort of having to distinguish oneself when one introduces. Also, it's completely also me. I don't want to be like, I don't want, my head is like, you know, you go in and do a scene and they're like, you've done improv for 10 years and you look like this. So I'm always sort of like taking care of that very early on by saying I'm a playbacker for 10 years. However, I've done improv for 3 years. So that's also where this sort of, yeah, like you said, Gabe, I think what for me is distinguishing is that what does the poster read? What is the stage? What is the MC announcing this particular performance as? But beyond those fixed categories, everything is pretty fluid, and the sort of skills we are developing in all these forms overlap greatly. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Now, your background was in playback for 10 years. Jay and Tim, you learned your improv abroad. Jay in New York. What was that like? Am I correct?
Recording in progress.
It's funny because I actually started improv in Beijing.
In Beijing, okay.
Yeah, I got in touch with the Wednesday night workshops that we do here about 10 years ago now, just through my real estate agent. I was looking for apartments. I found the improv scene instead. And it was only later, maybe a couple years later, that I went back to New York and I discovered, like UCB has schools here, pretty famous improv school in New York. And that's when I did the intensive in New York. So I kind of did it backwards a little bit. And I think I'm so blessed that I found the scene in Beijing first, because I think if I started in New York, I wouldn't have stuck with it. You know, it's a very competitive scene. It didn't feel as welcoming and as inclusive as the scene that we have here in Beijing. So I'm actually really grateful and really blessed that I started my improv journey here. So that's my answer.
and that's a thing that some people do say about Asian improv, that it is generally a more inclusive scene, not as competitive, not so much involved in one-upmanship and all of that.
Exactly, because it feels like everyone is starting kind of from the same place. You know, we're all new to this. We're all co-creating this community together. Whereas in America, it's like, we are established and we know what improv is, and this is how you do improv. So that's what it kind of felt like.
And these are the teachers, and these are the schools.
And you must do a herald, otherwise you are no improviser. That was the gist of it.
Tim, you came across improv when you were studying abroad. Am I correct?
Yep. I fell into improv by chance, actually, because I was studying in the UK, and then about 10 years ago, I went back for my winter break, and my mom was like, "Have you made any British friends?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Can you please go and make some British friends if you're there, like immerse yourself in the culture?" And I was like, "What would get me there fastest?" And I had signed up for the Improv Society during the Freshers Week. So a flyer had like a mailer happened to come into my email. I was like, "Oh, this looks like fun." So I signed up. I decided to attend the workshop, and that's how I got started. So I started with a university society, the Bristol Improv Society, where my contemporaries have since set up the Bristol Improv Theatre. So
and I follow them. Jay, I'm gonna go back to you because you perform with in Beijing right now, and you
Yes.
mentioned earlier before the show that you're the only Asian performing with that group right now, and you have the
Yeah.
experience of taking improv. Excuse my cat. Of taking improv in the U.S. Is there any difference the way the Asian improv student behaves in improv classes that you might have noticed, or are students the same everywhere?
I can only speak for China and the U.S. And I think in China, I feel like there's a lot more, I think, focus on. It feels like people are using improv as a form of therapy, like working out their family issues, their relationship issues. In America, it felt like it was a lot more slapstick. There was a lot of different crazy ideas going on. In China, it feels like, we're really getting into like, how my mom treated me as a teenager, and like I'm getting it out on stage, and you see a lot of that. And I kind of encourage that, because for me, improv was that as well. When I first started, it was an opportunity to put a lot of myself out on stage. So I really enjoy that with my students here.
We call that in Filipino hugot, which is a Tagalog word, but that means to dig deep, to pull something from deep inside and lay it all out on the stage or in conversation. Does that happen, Tim, Laxmi, with your students in improv class?
Well, I think for me, for me, I actually find trouble getting my students to hugot. If I'm correctly.
You said it correctly.
There are times where I stop my class and I go, okay, I know we are very Asian here and we are all refusing to speak about our feelings and emotions, but when we are doing improv, there is a need to be vulnerable. So, stop suppressing or repressing or oppressing whatever you're feeling and let it out. And then when it finally clicks for them, because not everyone does it immediately, but when it does, you see magic happen. You really do see magic happen.
Laxmi.
Yeah, I think my answer is very in the zone of in playback, because I teach a lot more playback theater and train my team in playback theater more. It is almost imperative that we have to speak from our experiences, because when we're rehearsing, it is our stories that we are playing back to each other, before we can meet the audience and tell their stories. So definitely there is a creation of like bonds based on on witnessing each other, which is, I think, very, very big in all the spaces. And also for me, this is interesting. The question is interesting because I have only done, before the pandemic hit, I had done only Asian improv, because I've never done improv in India. So everybody, so much so that I never thought of it as Asian improv, which is why for me, the category of Asian is sort of constructed against the non-Asian, which I only confronted in March 2020 when the pandemic hit. And then suddenly there is a need to say I'm Asian improviser as opposed to the normative improviser who's obviously not Asian, who's white, who's American, who's gone to Second City or whatever. So I was just like a bit like, oh, okay, now I'll need to find the adjectives that suit me as an improviser, which I never had to think, because the only people I had performed with were my teammates, who were all Indians, thereby Asians. But now that I've performed a little bit more and taught a little bit more in the places that I've taught in, which have very strong code of conduct and which have very strong policies to have teachers who are outside, of their maybe immediate circles. I think I have encountered a lot of curiosity. Also because of the nature of online improv, there's a lot okay, so what do you guys do different, or I want to learn. So I think I've also been lucky in that sense. There's a lot of but the curiosity comes from the same place that the non-Asian comes from. I'm not saying it's toxic or bad, but I'm saying it exists, that divide sort of exists. And yeah, it's interesting how it plays out.
Absolutely, I would echo that, and I'm glad you used the word normative because the normative history of improv, it's always traced back to the work of Viola Spolin or Keith Johnstone, etc., North America, Chicago, etc., and Hull House in the 1930s. And then Western improv also teaches that its origins are in Commedia dell'arte, which was an Italian Renaissance theater form. So it's very Western. That's the normative definition of improvisation. I'd like to ask the question, and we tackled it a little bit, Lakshmi, earlier. For example, in Chinese culture, are there improvisational theater forms as well, perhaps, that we could take a look at? Tim, Jay, would you know of any improvisational traditional theater in the Philippines? While you're thinking about that, or there you go.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just clearing my throat. But I do believe that in medieval China, poetry was recited in the courts, improvised. They gave a topic and then they would improvise around that topic, poetry. So I think that is one. Jay, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I think certain elements of xiangsheng is also improvised, is it?
Yeah. I think there is improvised and kind of prepared xiangsheng, which is crosstalk. It's two people talking back and forth. It's kind of like stand up with a little bit of improv thrown in there.
Yeah.
We have a similar form called balagtasan, which is in Tagalog, and it's improvised poetry and call and response and argument. I guess it's like those rap battles right now, rap battles right now, but older. The beginning poem would be scripted, but where the joy would be in the back and forth and the arguments, and those would be improvised. And there was also a tradition of chanting heroic epics here, the Kambayoka, all of that throughout, where certain parts where you stick to the storyline but make up things sort of in between. So I think one of the things that I'd really like to put forward is improvisation is not an exclusively Western thing. There are long traditions of it across different cultures. Yes, Italy, but also China, also India, also the Philippines, that go back centuries as well.
If I can just add a very Singaporean response to what you just said.
Yes.
The reason why they would ground it that way is because capitalism, isn't it? That's when you control the narrative, you sell your story, and when you sell your story, people buy into it. But that doesn't mean that your story is the only story out there.
Absolutely. And I felt a lot of guilt when you were saying that, because I used to introduce myself as, I learned my improv from Paul Sills, the son of Viola Spolin. And I took improv under Keith Johnstone and also Charna Halpern. And, I'm like, wow, wait a minute, those are all Western names. And I just took short workshops with them.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, and I want to bring it back to the question you just asked about, these traditions. And I think, at least in Chinese culture, traditionally, education was very much, a rich person's pursuit. And, you memorize tomes and Confucian texts, and it was all about reciting past classics, and the lowbrow stuff was improvised, right? The street theaters and stuff that you saw in the crowds. And so I think improv in America also started from that like blue collar working class background, as opposed to theater, which was very highbrow, right? Improv started off as this lowbrow thing. And I think that's, to me, what's beautiful, right? It's in touch with people's everyday lives. You're not acting about, something happened 200 years ago. You're in here right now with everyone. You're in the present. And I think, that to me is the beauty of improv. And I think that, transcends boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Lakshmi.
Yeah, I think as you folks were talking about this performative tradition of sort of debate, I was remembering the little classes of Buddhist philosophy that I have taken. So in Buddhism, there's a long tradition of like performative debating. Also, sort of like, I mean, not the only, but like a lot. I was also thinking that it would be useful because anyways we're talking about this for me to place myself, like just locate myself in this large country called India, which is like I'm quite my list of privileges are longer than not. Like I'm college educated is itself quite a portion of people, and I'm upper caste, which means I come with a lot of like caste privilege, and I can speak English quite articulate.
Right.
And I studied in a university which taught English studies. So all of these are, and I think as I met people who are doing improv in India, there are many homogeneities. As different as we are, I think some of our privileges look the same because of how it is framed as a Western pursuit. Because the ones who are watching the sitcoms are the ones who are listening to, because when you're colonized. And when you are told for many, many years that the aspirational is what you're looking at, then your consciousness of the popular culture and the nice and the virtuous is not what you have, but what you have. And it sort of, for me, shows up in the fact that all these traditional forms, which I know had improvisation, I know none of them. I don't practice any of them because like the sort of family that I was born into and I grew up into, the education that I have, all have semblances of like casteism, systematic, the colonial education, everything. So then when I look at improv, obviously I'm already inherently thinking it is good because it's Western, right? Like not that traditional forms are not good, but that's how it's being given also to me. And it takes so much work to like break that, but then you still know that you learned it the way it was framed for you. So there's no real absolute breaking away from. So that's where I am at. I have given up trying to like find Indian improv or Laxmi improv devoid of the learnings from the teachers who are not Indian that I learned from, but also to now acknowledge this is what I have and how can I make this mine and see the gaps as much as I can.
I'd like to actually, from my experience with playback, and I really like the conversation, juxtaposing playback and improvisation. Somehow, your list of privileges, growing up where we are, where we were also a colony, somehow helps in improvisation, but in playback, privilege is something that shouldn't be there. Am I right? Or you're more conscious of getting rid of?
One needs to be, I mean, if you want to do meaningful and rewarding playback, one needs to be aware of one's biases. And one of the first biases one meets is one's privileges and what one thinks of what one is not, right? Like, oh, so your mother pointed to somebody and said they are such and such, and you thought that was truth. Right? Oh, they are such and such. But then in playback, when you play such a character, you realize this is not truth. This is my bias about such a character. And then you go into a messy spiral and then learn some humility. But yeah, I think
there's a shift, right?
It's definitely a shift for me because in playback, you're playing somebody else's story. And in even the most basic playback classes, the first thing you're taught is that the teller's story is sacrosanct. That's important. You need to respect. But in improv, the skills that I've learned after having done playback is to be able to find my own narrative and hear narrative sort of given. So there are different things I'm sort of learning from each other, and there are gaps that are being filled crisscross.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So we're all in an interesting space right now where improv is newish in our cultures. We don't bear the burden of improv that started in the 50s and all of that. How does our background, our culture, where we live, how we live, our age, our shape. How does that challenge our understanding of improv? Is there I think another way of saying that, is there a Beijing kind of improv, a Singapore kind of improv, a Bangalore kind of improv, a Manila sort of improv? And how does the culture and how we live shape it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Gabe. And I was kind of reflecting on this, and I think now in Asia, right? I would say Manila and Singapore are kind of the hotbeds of improv, and I was like, why is that? And I think maybe that is also due to some form of the colonial history that's been left, right? The fact that people speak English there. You can have international troops come in and perform all in English, and we can all understand it, right? It's something that we can't really do in Beijing as much, besides other issues. And I can really relate to also what you guys were talking about in terms of this, kind of putting the Western on a pedestal, right? I think when I started my improv journey, I definitely was guilty of that as well. And I think unlearning a lot of that and exploring kind of the roots of what improv is to me, rather than where it comes from in a book or taught by a prestigious school. I think that's something that we're really trying to explore more now here in Beijing.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Tim, what defines Singaporean improv? What are the common factors you'd think?
I think it's quite difficult for us to put a pin on what defines Singaporean improv. For the very fact that because Singapore is a hotbed of different cultures and different well, I don't like to use the word, but different races. The different ethnicities tend to mesh together, and on top of that, you add on an international element where you have so many people from all over the world coming in. Like in my class, I can't say my usual class would be like 80 or 90% Singaporean. I would say that it's really a good mix of local and foreigners that come to classes. So even with performing teams, the teams that you see out there, they tend to be a hodgepodge of different nationalities, different ethnicities. One thing that I think unites the Singapore improv community is that it tends to lean towards an upper middle class.
Right.
It becomes a class situation, right? And so I think if you're asking me what is Singaporean improv, maybe to a certain extent, upper middle class people who are coming together to try and build a community and hopefully outreach to the bigger society in Singapore. Yeah.
I'm so glad you have the candor to put that out, that it's upper middle class. I know Laxmi raised her hand, and I'll go to you. But for the school we put up is Third World Improv, and for all the downtrodden image that Third World might have, our student base is more or less young, upper middle class, university educated as well. And we have made efforts in the past through scholarship programs, performances in public markets, but we haven't made a great big headway either in those who are not from the upper middle class sector as well. Laxmi, you were raising your hand earlier.
Oh, that was just me resonating, but this is a very important and resonant conversation for me, because I think we talk as much as we can about the composition, demographic composition of who's in the room, in our rooms, audience, in our as a team who we are, and definitely people the simple truth is people who don't have to depend on this for livelihood, especially just performance of improv, like there's just no money like that. And I don't personally know anybody who makes all their livelihood from doing improv or even teaching improv, I would say, unless I'm of course probably wrong. So then that directly is like, this is a thing you have to do on top of either, you're doing other forms of performances, or you have a day job, or you're a teacher, or you run a school in India at least. Even then, it's never sort of matches that. Yeah, it's never enough. It's never enough. But also on top of that, it's not necessarily recognized because it's new, right? So there's always all of that. And then if you are depending on teaching, then you want to be able to teach people who can pay you for it, so that you can then do these shows which are financially zero. Like it doesn't get you any money, So then we get into, from us, like I get into a cycle that to think about bringing people who are absent from these spaces because they can't access it is a whole different, not just a conversation, a whole different structuring of one's company and of one's teaching. And that is also like not to be tokenistic, but one has to change how one teaches altogether. And
that dovetails nicely with the question from our friend Kim Tan. And when we talk about people making a living out of improv, that's usually a US thing.
It's a scam in improv in Asia.
Yeah, but some of them move on in the US to SNL, and that's why they go to Second City or IO. And Kim's question is, if later improv becomes a viable path towards a career, for example, the improv SNL pathway in the US, will the inclusiveness that's present in Asian improv suffer from increased internal competitiveness?
And I can actually
go
address that from a Beijing perspective, because that's actually exactly what we saw a few years ago. And funny thing is, they were trying to develop a Chinese version of SNL, I think around 2018. And what you saw was the commercialization of improv. You had a lot of entertainment companies come into our community, which used to be a vibrant community, Chinese improvisers, Western improvisers, all playing together, doing, shows for very cheap and free workshops. And suddenly, they were being signed away by these large entertainment companies and not allowed to even talk to other, groups and teams. And it just became these silos of people working on projects on tight deadlines, very stressful in order to generate content. And so we definitely got that. Luckily, they found that there wasn't that much good content maybe to be generated at the time that was suitable for their needs. So I think those companies ran out of money, and eventually the scene kind of came back to a healthy normality. So all's well that ends well.
Our story, I think, is a little bit similar. There was a rumor going around in Manila 5+ years ago that somebody wanted to bring in a version of SNL or Second City. They were just thinking about it. And we were like, wait, hold on. We've been doing this for a decade, and somebody will eat the lunch that we've prepared for 15 years. So that's why we put up Third World Improv. And really, the play on the word is really, you had Second City West, we have Third World over in Asia. And that was a little bit deliberate.
I love it.
Ria adds to Kim. She asks, happy birthday, Ria, by the way. Does putting a commercial structure or a commercial end to improv derail its communitarian benefits?
Yes. I think that old adage, money is the root of all evil. I think that it's like a chicken and egg situation, right? Because without money, can we sustain the community? But then if the community starts wanting the money, then what will happen to the community? So it becomes like a 6-cycle carousel. I do feel that just to add on to what Jay has said earlier as well, it becomes very apparent when you bring in the talk of money and the potential, because that changes the collaborativeness of it. It's no longer necessarily a rising tide raises all ships. It could be a tsunami that sinks some, while others tend to benefit from that wave. And so I feel the commercial structure is a very fine balance. And I think what the improv company in Singapore is doing has been great in that they've managed to balance it very well for the longest of time. Although I do believe Kim would, and this is for Kim to to mention on his own, but I do believe he would love to have a bit more than what the improv company is getting at the moment. But yeah, I definitely think that having a commercial structure to or even turning it into like a gateway to stardom, that's what really takes away that collaborativeness and the communitarian benefits. Yeah,
absolutely. And as the biggest shareholder of Third World Improv on paper, I can also proudly say that I'm the lowest paid faculty, and even from corporate shows. A commercial, to echo, commercial structure is necessary for sustainability. But if it's your objective, then that can really, really affect the community. Mike Obama has a question. Why does improv seem to cater to the upper middle class? Is it because of the so-called benefit of the language of our colonizers? If so, how can we find the balance between native local language and colonial language? I love how big these questions are. And we're tackling more of these in the next few panels, but let's take a stab at it.
Yeah, I think the answer is in the question itself. I think the benefit of the language of our colonizers, especially depending on who our teachers, and I'll speak for Bangalore, when there is a particular image of how a scene looks, or even in genre, right? Like even now, I'm doing if there's a workshop on movies, which is local, but the structure is what we have been taught, which could be Western. It on the surface, which is why to me, having cultural references only at the level of adding language or couple of words is a bit, it's good, it's great, but to me it's not sufficient, because we are not looking at like what scaffolds it stands on. And to me that can happen differently. And I'm a big believer that if an Asian body is doing improv, it's Asian improv, because we are doing it from our experience, our nostalgia, our longings, our desires, and our passions, what we have and what we don't. So I would think, I don't have an answer, but my gut says that it is along the lines of being unapologetic. Like a lot of my answers is in the zone, I feel, of irreverence and not being apologetic, of trying out things. Because especially when you speak English the way most of us in this panel speak, we also want to do an improv in the way people who speak this language do. But what would it mean to take me like 4 or 5 steps back and say, not just in a genre form, but in the very essence of yes-anding? Does the way of yes-anding in our homes look different from yes-anding? For example, like in dinner table, when we are serving food, like sometimes my mother serves before I even realize that I want that food. And it is a big part of like my home's culture. And I know some Indian families which have, and that is yes anding in a way that I don't even have to initiate, like she initiates that offer in a way. And to me, that's a different ethos of yes anding or acknowledging and building. So are there those sort of structural realities which are staring at us, but maybe I haven't yet brought in. So for me, it's like an ethos, deeper work of ethos, but also, of course, meanwhile, like adding more languages, doing more stories and characters which look and sound like us and have had our experiences.
There's so many thoughts raced through my head while you were speaking, because there are just so many more layers. Like, for example, our different ethnicities. How I know that in the few times that I've improvised in North America, they're very careful. They're very particular and don't mention ethnicities, religion, sexuality, etc. How is that maneuvered? Where you are. For us, we embrace the challenge, and I have a little bit of the advantage of my improv team is a little bit old. Well, it's a lot older than most, but and we seem to tackle these questions between ourselves as well, being of different sexualities and genders as well. But is there a difference in the way Asian groups or your groups in particular, let's not generalize, when they navigate ethnicity, religion, gender roles, all of that? How is that done?
For us, everything is on the table as long as we don't talk about politics, because then we lose our
camera. You've got. I will say it. I will say it, Jay. When you perform with Beijing Improv, their theater has a camera, and the nearest police station actually has a feed to watch it.
Right. And they're like, I don't know what they're saying, but if they make fun of Xi Jinping, we're taking them out. No, but our shows can get quite raunchy. You know, we do a lot of different takes on language and culture and race. And, you know, a part of me actually enjoys that, not being in America, because I know things are very, polarized and
and can be volatile there.
Yeah, I think political correctness is a big thing in North America right now. But I think in Beijing, we have relative freedom to talk about a lot of these things, as long as we veer off the red line.
Which is politics. Yes, Tim.
So I think for Singapore, it's slightly more sensitive in that, because we don't have a homogenous society,
right?
And so, like, say my team ASAP, for example, we are all Singaporean Chinese, and for us, I think generally what we do is we try and tell stories that can apply across different ethnicities that within Singapore. But for particular pain points of other ethnicities that we may definitely will not understand, or we may not grasp delicately, we try to avoid, because we don't want to end up being disrespectful towards them on that. And what I think ASAP's brand is that we try and tackle a very local Chinese Singaporean mindset that is factually the majority of Singapore, but isn't the be all and end all of Singapore. Yeah.
Do you find yourselves falling into ethnic stereotypes when you do some of these roles? And to give an example, sometimes a Filipino improviser in a panic might suddenly assume the role of a maid or a driver, because we do have a domestic workforce which goes to different countries. Do you find that happening in your groups?
Yeah, a lot. I think there is definitely a I think first I also like, what we said about the politics and so-called volatile topics of things.
Right.
From some of my friends in the US, I'm hoping there is already like some change, because this understanding of like what is not addressed can never be resolved, right? Like if you don't address it, because if there is racism in shows, not talking about it is not what is going to take it away, unless everybody is in therapy and everybody is doing their work in silos, which is unlikely. Even then it will come up on stage. Talking about it is what's going to lead to some sort of at least first step to awareness. But that's one thing I wanted to say. I think with the Black Lives Matter and with Black Improv Alliance and a lot of other teachers who are more sensitive, hopefully it's changing a little more, because it's, that's where for me, that's where the important stuff is. In the differences, in the layers, in learning how to not be stereotypical while dealing with it. That's how we should be. I want to live my life in some ways, but also to answer the stereotypes that come up in shows. I think especially like you said in Panic, but also sometimes because of what we spoke about, who usually ends up doing improv, that has a direct connection to what are the stereotypes that come up, and that's not innocent. If mostly in India, upper caste, upper class, upper middle class, college educated folks end up doing improv, then the stereotypes are going to be about the people who are not present in the room. And that's also because we have learned that from so long. So the gaps and the stereotypes and on whom the jokes are made are usually also either people who are easier to target because they are minorities, or because they are somebody you have had no experience dealing with. You have never seen a real person. Lastly, the team that I auditioned and started improv with is the Adamant Eves, which is all women, at least then all women.
Lovely names. Lovely names.
Yeah, thank you. I was the second layer of Improv. It was the original folks who came up with a name, fantastic name. And I think part of it, when we started, we knew that people are going to be like, oh, you guys are men hating, and another feminist group, or whatever the thing sort of comes with it. So at least before pandemic, we had decided to embrace that. We were like, yeah, okay, you come and find out. You think that? Come and find out how it's going to be. But definitely a lot of our identity comes from the fact that we are not taking that off the table, but we are in fact serving all of it on the table very respectfully and very, as much as we can, sensitively.
Yeah, if I can share my experience, when I first started doing improv, I found myself leaning on a lot of stereotypes about my own race. I would do a lot of Chinese accents and other Asian accents. And I remember after one show, like a white American friend came up to me and he was like, that was kind of racist. And I was like, what, you're lecturing me on racism right now? And then when I went back and thought about it, I was like, it kind of was in a way, even though it was my own race, right? I felt like I wasn't representing a character. I was representing, the distortion of this character as a stereotype. And, I think, we're still guilty of that at times on stage, for sure, myself included. But I think, the goal is to play more nuanced characters. They can have an accent, they can have, peculiarities, but it's about playing a more substantive character than just, hey, I'm Russian and I drink vodka. Like, that's not interesting.
Right.
So that's my 2 cents.
I think we have been guilty of that at one point or another, of making fun of our own race to get a cheap laugh or a panic laugh at first. Here's a fun question.
It's low-hanging fruit, right? It's gonna get a laugh.
Here's a fun question from Kim Tan. An improviser in Singapore, born and raised in Europe, who learned and honed their improv for the last 5 to 6 years. Do they represent Asian improv in any way? That's the question.
No, not in my opinion.
Huh. Okay, why not?
I think Laxmi raised a point earlier on an Asian body doing improv is Asian improv. Of course, I think if we go back to semantics of the question in the first place, right? Asia is one of the it is sorry, not one of the it is the biggest in the world, and there's so many different ethnicities. How we look from each other are completely different. And to quote Lee Kuan Yew's Asian values, I always ask them, which part of Asia are you talking about? Which part of Asian values are you referring to? However, I think there is that identification that if you are ethnically Asian, in terms of geopolitical ethnicity, then that story that you tell, whether as a third culture kid or as someone who is directly from Asia, is Asian improv. So I would agree with Laxmi on her stance that Asian body doing improv is Asian improv.
Yeah, I think just to add to what Tim said, I also want to again position myself that I'm coming from a country which is becoming progressively ethno-fascist. India. I'm very wary of sort of.
I love how you put it. Progressively ethno-fascist. I love how you
we
casually,
always were, but now there is
put
no,
Actually, just to quickly add on to that, I think it does boil down to identity politics as well, right? Of whether I identify as Asian, and having given it a little bit more thought. What about, say, someone who was adopted from the West into an Asian family based in Asia? Would that become Asian improv? I think that's something that,
or even the other way around, from the refugees. Exactly. And then okay, we've covered so much, and believe it or not, that's already been an hour for us. And here's the funny thing. This is just the first of the 4 panels here at the ImprovisAsian Festival. The next panel will be improvising with your colonizers. How do we destroy colonial mentality? The third panel is political correctness. What is the line between celebration and appropriation? And the final panel is how can we continue to celebrate as a global community? And I think we touched on all of those topics today. A great way to kick off the panels for this. My stage manager is already killing me in the PMs and time is up. So thank you so much, Tim. When can they watch you in this festival?
You can see me perform with ASAP at 6:30 on Sunday, and then again with the Improv Company block at, I think, 8:30. That's the correct timing that we go on. And you can follow me on social media at Saving Timmy.
Jay?
We dropped the ball on registering for time slots. Unfortunately, this is our only appearance, but you can follow us on Facebook at Beijing Improv.
And see you live, actually.
Yes, and see us live in Beijing. Exactly.
Laxmi?
hi, tomorrow in one of the slots of which time I do not know. The ICB, which has a 2-hour slot. One of the shows that I and Siddhartha co-directing called Gather Round is playing and also in the block 2. We are doing a short form playback demo show, which I would love to invite you to. And on 28th Saturday, I'm a part of a panel conversation duo show calling De-Shaffing the Wheat. So I'm going to be around quite a bit. And I also have a workshop. Wow, okay, I'm there every day. So
You're everywhere.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Laxmi, Jay, and Tim. This is the first panel of our improvisation panels. Thank you so much. We put together this festival to celebrate Asian improvisation, to have uncomfortable conversations, but worthwhile conversations. Thank you so much, dear friends, for participating. We're going to move on to the next blocks and the next workshops. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gabe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.